first topic that we are going to explore is truth knows no color. Such an interesting topic. Primarily, when I read the topic itself, I was like, okay, so there could be like two major interpretations of this topic. Let's try to explore that. It says truth knows no color. Okay. So when you say something knows no color, the very first common interpretation of it is like, oh yeah, truth is equivalent to everyone. It sees no color. That is one interpretation that is there, that, you know, you could be black, you could be white, you could be belonging to different religions, you could be of different genders, and still truth will not see that as a distinction. So color here could be something of denoting a certain distinction between people. Got it? It's a distinction between people. So any kind of distinction that could be leading to a prejudice or a bias can be included in this idea. So we know that. We normally know all of these points of distinction, which is it could be ethnicity, it could be what country you're coming from, it could be what gender you belong to, it could also be what religion. In countries like India, it could be what caste you belong to, what region you come from, etc. Got it? So this is the most common interpretation that I believe every student will strike up with when they see truth knows no color. Because when they say truth knows no color, it could mean that truth sees no color. Okay. So when you say truth sees no color is where this distinction comes about. Now, another interpretation that could be possible over here is the fact that truth actually cannot be of any color. Okay, I'll explain this. Truth, we normally say in local, when we study ethics actually, they say that, you know, truth can be either black or truth can be either white. Okay, or truth can come in multiple shades. Then you will have to swallow whatever shade you get. So these are all quotes related to truth and colors. Got it? So one interpretation is very general. It can be direct like this. The other interpretation could be the fact that truth cannot be boxed into colors. So this is one part we have to explore a little bit more. Truth cannot be boxed into colors. Truth cannot be black or white. Truth cannot be, because truth, what may be one person's truth could be another person's falsity. So there could be multiple interpretations of what actually truth is. Got it? But despite all that, what happens is you can have multiple interpretations of what truth is, which means that truth can be of many colors. But at the end of the day, truth will remain as just an objective fact and thus will have no color. Hear me out in a little bit more clarity over here. So the second interpretation tries to put, or when they say truth knows no color, it basically means truth feels no color. So this is truth sees no color. And this is truth feels no color. Feels no color means truth is neither black nor white. Okay, truth is very absolute, and truth can be of, if it can be of just a single shade thing. That is one other interpretation. Truth can be of multiple shades. One shade of truth might affect another shade of truth. Okay, one shade of lie might affect another shade of truth. in this way, I personally feel this part can have so many more dimensions to be included in your essay. Now, when you ask what are the points to be generated, or how can we generate points, this is where for me the essay topic becomes something that is accessible to all. Okay, so when I say this topic where truth knows no color can be interpreted as truth sees no color and truth feels no color, there in itself you have created these two dichotomy where you can relate to the topic. Okay, now how do we explore that in the essay? First of all, because this is something that a lot of students are going to be a little bit confused about, let me just take up that first. And this is something that I think everybody knows what, and this is the idea that was actually propounded by a lot of ancient philosophers at a time where truth, truth was biased based on what background you had. Okay, so for example, when you have someone coming and telling you the earth is round, people saw not that as the truth. But what happened? It became about why is he saying this? What is his background? Why is he doing all of these things? So what happens over there is the truth got distincted based on it. Another aspect would be, again, if you're relating to this over here, you can go about and say, no, earth is not round, earth is flat, and you can say all of these things. But what happens? Finally, even beyond time, what has happened? The truth persists. Okay, so let's try to see how to break this down into different parts. So when we say truth knows no color and we are going with the interpretation that truth feels no color, it primarily says that truth is absolute, it's objective, and most commonly truth is fact-based. These are the permanent things about truth. But based on different aspects, based on circumstances, based on time of history that you are seeing the truth in, based on your personal prejudices, what can happen? Truth can change for each person. So this is like me telling you, truth is this very transparent, let's say, to make it into very simple terms, and maybe this can be helpful for someone who's writing, maybe trying to attempt to write this essay. So how I see it is, imagine truth to be this very transparent color. Transparency itself has no color, but then understand something very transparent and, very, very, light absorbing kind of a thing that is there. Now that is a color of truth, suppose, okay. And based on all of these things, you are going on seeing it in different sites and saying, oh, that's red, that's blue, that's green. So you are, based on your circumstances and time of history that you're seeing a truth in, or your prejudices, you are giving different interpretations to it. Okay, but that interpretation is not sustainable. That interpretation, for example, at the time of the Second World War, the shade of truth that people wanted to believe in was they are doing, or the Nazi army is doing all this for the benefit of Germany. Okay, you see truth today, you see it as an objective thing that, okay, for whatever cause, whatever happened, so many lakhs of people got murdered for it. And that is the truth. Got it? So what happens is, based on all of these things, truth changes its shade. But once you are going on doing this process only, finally what happens? It comes in, after some time, there is the reveal of the truth where it's like, see, I'm not red or green or blue, I'm just transparent. Okay, so truth is absolute, objective, fact-based. To make it more simple, truth is transparency color. But based on these aspects, you see it in different colors. And in fact, when I was brainstorming this essay, if I were to write this essay in the actual exam, I would actually go about doing this, like, showing truth in, is truth red? Is truth green? Is truth black and white? And then negate each point and say that no, you cannot have it like that. Why? Because truth is transparent. Negate each point. So that is an, again, interesting kind of a thing I felt to, structure my essay. Anyway, if you are not thinking of it, don't confuse yourself with that. But nevertheless, this is something that you can try out while writing your model essays or something, and you submit to your mentors. Okay. Now, coming back to this, so I'm saying that based on my truth, based on my circumstances, I keep on naming truth, which is transparent colored, into red, green, blue, and these different things. See, these are symbolic. Okay. Now, I'm like, okay, time has passed, and I'm starting to realize that maybe it's not red or green or blue. It's not all of these shades. But maybe that single transparent colored truth can have different gradations in it. It can be white, it can be grey, it can be a little bit different shades. So what does that mean there? That means truth, in these cases, truth is subjective. And here I am saying, yes, in some scenarios, truth can be subjective. That means it can vary, but that subjectivity is just to show the different aspects of it. So if I'm saying finally truth is transparency colored, before that there could have been a white color, before that there could have been a silver white color, before that there could have been a grey color. That means what? Finally, for truth to reach to its transparent color, you have to pass it, or that truth has to pass through different shades. Okay, like again, if the truth of India is the fact that, we got, in 1947, we got partitioned, and then there was India, and then there was Pakistan. This is the truth that we know, and in this partition, a lot of people from both the sides did die. Okay, but to reach to that truth, what has happened? There are multiple shades to it as to why that truth had to be done. Okay, or why that truth had to be revealed, that we had to partition. So those shades, the why, what, how of the truth happens to be the different colors that are beyond it. Okay, so here you can say finally it reaches to the transparent truth, but there are foreshadows and there are things behind it, and that shows us the different circumstances of the truth itself. So this is where we have debates that say that, you would have heard of these debates that say, why did India have to be partitioned, or who was the leader of partition? See, these are all gradations of that same truth that finally led to the fact that truth was transparent color and we have partitioned. Understand? So again, I hope you are getting the idea that each of these parts can be explored in detail. Okay, first I'm saying truth feels no color, and then I'm going on saying that all of these parts, like, truth is transparency colored, basically meaning all of these facts, and based on our biases, it can be circumstances or whatever, you see it in different colors altogether. But then finally, again, what happens is truth will still prevail. Okay, and then again, I'm saying truth is subjective. It has a subjective element, as in, like, you have to see it in the context of what happened. So this is all the context of how this truth came about. But even then, what happens? Truth is still transparency colored. It's just that the context of it is grey and white and silver and everything. But truth is finally again transparency colored. Okay, so this is one way you can explore that part. I hope See, again, when I brainstorm essays, all I try to do is how many dimensions and what all areas can I bring into this topic so that the examiner gets like, oh, wow, I didn't think of that, you know. So this is one type, and obviously the other one still stands. Like truth sees no color. That truth will always, beyond all kinds of discrimination, truth will always prevail. Okay, so these are the two major interpretations possible in this essay. I hope those who wrote it have tried, in exploring these interpretations in your paper also.